Hello students, once again I welcome you all in the new video where we are going to start the simplest and fundamental tissue in animals, that is known as epithelial tissue. In the previous video we have discussed that animal tissues are different from plant tissues, and we have classified mainly all the animal tissue in four categories on the basis of the functions they perform. Like the first that we are going to discuss here, epithelial tissue. It performs the function of protection, as it is going to make the covering of the internal as well as external part of the body. And muscular tissue, we know that muscular tissue perform the functions in the movement and locomotion of different parts of the body. And we have discussed also the connective tissue, which are responsible for the connection of various organs to each and everyone. And finally we have discussed in the last video that a specific type of tissue, nervous tissue, which is responsible for the control and coordination. So let's start the first type of tissue, that is what? Epithelial tissue in animals. And when we talk about the characteristic feature of this epithelial tissue, as we have discussed earlier also, that epi means outer. So this is what tissue means. These structures will be formed of the group of multiple cells. So here when we talk about the first characteristic feature, this tissue forms the covering of the body that is exposed to outside. It means when we talk about our skin, because it is the outermost surface, outermost layer of our body. So skin is made up of a specific type of tissue, and this tissue is what? Epithelial tissue, because it is going to cover the whole internal organs in our body. So not only the external covering, it also forms the internal coverings, means the internal organs. When we talk about the alimentary canal, when we talk about the kidneys, so or when we talk about the blood vessels, so all the internal organs, their lining, their surface is also made up of such type of tissue that is known as epithelial tissue. A very important point is this endothelium. So when we talk about the covering of blood vessels or hollow organs, the same epithelial tissue will be considered as what? The name endothelium. So epithelium, it means what? The outer covering of the body, that is mainly, if we are going to see, that is skin. And when we talk about the hollow organs lining or blood cavity, blood vessels lining, that is known as what? Endothelium. Now when we see the structure of these epithelial tissue, so since these are tissue, there will be what? Made up of cells, and all the cells will be what? This is again a specific feature, closely packed, because this is going to provide the protection to the body cells. So this is what? The cells will be arranged closely packed to each other, and there will be no any intercellular spaces with intercellular connections between their cell membrane, that is known as what? Cell junction. So here I have made a figure. If suppose these are the cells, since it is a tissue, so it will be a combination of cells. So these are the cells, so it will be what? Nucleus. And all the cells must be joined together, cemented together. So here at the bottom we can see a layer that is known as what? Basement membrane. So all the epithelial tissue will possess what? A basement membrane, where all the cells are going to stick together, cemented together, and cells will be arranged compactly without having any intercellular space. And these structures are what? These structures are cell junctions, which are responsible for the conduction of substances in between the cell. So these are cell junctions amongst the cell, and there is no any intercellular space, but a little or no extracellular fluid. Extracellular fluid means the fluid that is outside from the cell. So in some cases there may be little or no extracellular fluid present in between the cells, and at the above you can see some hair like structure that is known as what? Cilia. So if cilia is present on the cells, they will be known as what? Ciliated epithelial cells or tissues. So here I have taken an example of what? Ciliated epithelial tissue, and this tissue is a combination of multiple cells. These are the cells having nucleus in them. These cells are attached together with a small structure opening there that is known as cell junction, and it is responsible for the conduction of substances and the connection between the cells. And this is what at the bottom, it is the specific feature of epithelial tissue that they will be cemented together by a layer, and this layer will be made up of what? Glycoprotein. Glycoprotein. So this glycoprotein is what? Combination of carbohydrate as well as protein, and this basal lamina or basal membrane made up of glycoprotein, and this glycoprotein, some collagen fibers we will discuss in the connective tissue also. These collagen fibers are responsible for the attachment of these cells. So these are specific features. Now when we talk about the function of these epithelial tissue, what are the functions that are performed by these epithelial tissues? First and foremost function is what? Protection from physical, chemical and biological wear and tear. When we talk about these structures, these epithelial tissues, so they are going to protect our body cells. Means when we talk about the skin, so it is going to protect the cells inside to become dry. So this is what? Physical protection. Chemical protection, they are going to protect from the harmful chemicals present outside, and biological protector means they are going to protect from the invading germs and microbes if skin is not present there. So the internal organs will face a lot of germs or the pathogens that are present in our surroundings. So it is also protecting from the biological organisms there. So how they are going to protect? By making a covering on the body, and each and every cell is what? Compactly, closely packed. Now next function, it protects the internal organs. Obviously, if it is going to provide a covering around the body, so it means what? The internal organs will be protected, and they are also going to make inner lining and the internal organs. So the next function is what? Helps in the absorption of substances like epithelial lining of intestine. Perhaps in the digestive system you are aware about the villi present in the small intestine. So these are what? The lining of intestine which are going to absorb the food material. So the lining of intestine is also made up of epithelial cells. Helps in the diffusion of gases in alveoli. When we talk about the respiratory system, so you know in the lungs some small sac-like structures are present that are known as alveoli, and here in alveoli exchange of gases occurs because these are having what? A simple layer, a single layer of epithelial cells, so that the exchange of substances can be very easily conducted, and hence here exchange of gases takes place in alveoli. When we talk about the respiratory passage and genital duct, it also helps in the conduction of mucus and other substances. So in respiratory tract, when we are talking, they are having also cilia, some hair-like structures. So those who are going to release mucus and releasing the germs and pathogens or even the dust particles to move out from the body. And when we talk about the fallopian tube, so they are also ciliated epithelial cells are present, those who, with the help of which the egg is going to move in the fallopian tube. So this is also a work of this, help in the conduction of mucus or other substances in the body. Then they also help in the removal of waste from the body. When we talk about the epithelial tissue of nephrons, so perhaps you are having a knowledge that when we talk about the excretory system, kidneys are our main excretory organs, and these nephrons are the units of kidney. So here when we talk about the removal of nitrogenous waste is done in the nephrons, and hence it is also taking part in the removal of waste substances from the body. Then we talk, it helps in the secretion of substances, means some of the epithelial are going to work as the glandular epithelial tissues. So they are also helping there to release the hormones, or when we talk about the seminiferous tubules and ovaries, they produce sperm and ova respectively. Means seminiferous tubules are going to release sperm and these ovaries are going to produce ova. So these are few specific functions of these epithelial tissue, where the first important function is what? Protection, then absorption, then when we talk about the removal of waste substances, their secretion function. So these are the main important functions of these epithelial tissues. They are going to protect, they are going to perform the absorption function, secretion function and removal of waste substances. And when we talk about the types of epithelial tissue, it may be of different types on the basis of cell layer, functions and shape. So here we will discuss about the types of epithelial tissue. When we talk about the cell layer, if the cells are arranged in single layer as you are observing here, so these will be considered as what? Simple epithelial tissue. But if the layer will be multiple layer cell arranged together, so that will be considered as what? Stratified epithelial tissue. On the basis of functions, the epithelial tissue is classified in two groups: ciliated epithelial tissue and glandular epithelial tissue. So when we talk about the ciliated epithelial tissue, they are helping in the conduction of mucus and other substances in our body, as we were talking that they are present where? In the fallopian tubes as well as in the respiratory tract. So with the help of these cilia, they are going to move the substances. So they are performing what? Conduction function. And when we talk about the glandular, so they are going to what? Release some substances, whether it is in the form of hormones or salivary glands. So some of the epithelial tissue are going to perform the function of secretion, and that's why they are known as what? Glandular epithelial tissue. And on the basis of their shape, in the shape of the cells, they are of three types: squamous epithelial tissue, cuboidal and columnar. So when we talk about the squamous, they will be of flat shaped cells like the pavement on the streets. And when we talk about the cuboidal, from the name itself you can get an idea that these will be of cube shaped structure, and columnar epithelial tissues will be of pillar shaped structure. So we will see what are their structures and how they are going to help and where are their distribution in the body. Now we will see the various types of epithelial tissues on the basis of shape, structure and their functions that we have discussed. Squamous, cuboidal and columnar epithelial tissues on the basis of their shape. When we talk about their structure layer, then simple and stratified epithelial tissue, and on the basis of their function, ciliated and glandular epithelial tissue. So the first one is what? Squamous. Actually these are the epithelial tissues which are flat in structure. You can see the shape there. They are just at the shape of the pavement on the street. So these are known as what? Squamous epithelial cells or the tissues. And if they are present in single layer, that is known as simple. It is what? Simple squamous epithelial tissue. And if it is present in multi-layer, then it is known as what? Stratified. And at the here basement membrane, as you know, this is what? Basement membrane. This is what? Cuboidal epithelial tissue. As you can see, the shape is like a cube. So these are what? Simple cuboidal epithelial tissue. Why? Because their shape is what? Of cube shape. And when the same type of tissues are arranged in multi-layer, then they are known as what? Stratified cuboidal epithelial tissue. So these are stratified cuboidal epithelial tissue, and these are what? Stratified squamous epithelial tissue. You can see here columnar means they are the longitudinal cells arranged in a fashion, and you can see like they are looking like the pillars. So they are known as what? Columnar epithelial tissues. These are what? Ciliated epithelial tissue, and there may be two forms: cuboidal, ciliated epithelial tissue, or columnar. So on the basis of their shape, this is what? Cuboidal. and this is what columnar. So these are the examples of ciliated epithelial tissue, means their shape may be of cube shape or their shape may be of column shape, and these are glandular epithelial tissue. Actually, these are the modification of columnar cells. So here in the epithelial tissue, columnar cells, any of the cell is going to perform a function of a gland, means there will be invagination inside, there will be a change where they are going to fill some substances and going to perform the function like the glandular epithelial tissue. When we talk about the distribution, simple squamous epithelial tissue will be distributed in blood vessels and alveoli, because when we talk about their functions, they may perform the function of diffusion and filtration, and these diffusion and filtration can be performed only when there will be a single layer, a thin layer. That's why there will be arrangement of only simple squamous epithelial tissue in blood vessels and alveoli, because they are going to perform the function of diffusion and filtration. But when we talk about the stratified squamous epithelial tissue, they will be present where? In the skin, because if our external layer, our skin will be only a single layer, so it can be damaged frequently. So there will be what? Multiple layer in our skin, and here is a specific feature, keratin protein, keratinized epithelial, stratified epithelial cells present in the skin, and they protect from any aberration, any wear and tear. When we talk about the cuboidal epithelial cells, they will be present where? In uriniferous tubules, when we talk about the kidneys or salivary glands or thyroid and pancreatic duct, because they are going to perform the function of secretion, excretion as well as absorption function also. So these are what the cuboidal means. They are of cube shape and they may be simple or stratified. If they are of single layer, they will be considered as simple cuboidal epithelial tissue, and if they will be arranged in multi-layer, they will be considered as stratified cuboidal epithelial tissues, and their function is what? In secretion, excretion and absorption, and they also provides mechanical support to these ducts. So wherever there is a duct, the lining of these ducts will be made up of cuboidal epithelial tissue. So if we talk about the columnar epithelial tissue, so they will be present in digestive tract, whether we talk about the stomach, intestine or gallbladder. So we can find out these columnar epithelial tissue in the digestive tract, and their function will be what? Absorption in intestine. You are having a knowledge that the nutrients are going to absorb in the blood, where? In the small intestine. Also they are going to protect the underlying tissues because of their surface area. Then when we talk about the ciliated cuboidal or columnar tissues, they will be present where? In bronchi or trachea or fallopian tubes, means in the respiratory tract, to release the mucus, because cilia, these hair-like structures, move in a specific direction in a synchronized manner, so that the substances can be moved in a specific direction only, as in the fallopian tube also they are going to move the ova in single direction. And when we talk about the glandular epithelial tissue, they will be present in the glands in our body, whether they are intestinal glands or gastric gland or mammary gland, or when we talk about the pancreatic duct, so there will be also present what? Glandular epithelial tissue. And obviously if they are what? Glands, so their function will be what? To secrete something, whether it is enzyme, hormone, saliva or sweat. So this is all about the epithelial tissue, means we can categorize them on the basis of shape: squamous, cuboidal, columnar. Squamous, flat shaped structure, single layer, simple squamous, multi-layered, stratified squamous. Cuboidal, cube shaped structure, single layer, simple cuboidal epithelial tissue, multi-layered, stratified cuboidal epithelial tissue. Columnar means pillar shape, long structures, and the nucleus will be placed at the bottom. Ciliated means hair-like projections will be present there in the form of cilia. and all of their quality is that their one end is going to free, and you can see each of them, one end is free and the other end is what, attached with the basement membrane. So one surface will be free in all these epithelial tissues. So these are the specific features of these epithelial tissue. In the next video we will discuss about the muscular and nervous tissue. So just keep making the notes, and if you face any doubt or any confusion, you can ask your comments there in the comment section. You can clarify your doubt there also. So we will meet in the next video. Till then, take care of yourself, be safe and keep studying.